Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Peace, family. This is your brother, Mr. Holipsism. This is not going to be long. Just wanted to talk about something that has been annoying me over the years and things that I see, in recent times and just historically. And I think it's something that we really need to address. And that something is the default position of I'm taking my ball and going home. One of the things that I notice when it comes to like what makes things hard to do anything with a group or to get some type of movement is that everybody, I guess to put it bluntly, feels they shit don't stink. It's like they feel that everything coming out of their mouth is a pearl of wisdom. And it's like everybody should just sit back and just eat the crumbs that's falling from their table of knowledge and just accept everything they say wholesale. And when they don't get someone who accepts everything that they say wholesale or every strategy or tactic that they think is doable, they get a snotty nose and a teary eyes and they start, crying like a little girl, like a little baby. And they usually splinter off or dissolve the group or weaken the group by going and starting some other group that's the same damn group but with a different person in charge. You know what I mean? It's like what happened with when the Nation of Islam splintered. We had one Nation of Islam, then we have a disagreement. I mean, 'cause that's basically what it is. I'm not going to get into the whole history, but a disagreement, and then what happens? Then it splinters off into, this group, and it splinters off into that group, and this subgroup, and what happens is like everything dissolves. It's like you got, instead of having a unified force going in one direction, you scattered it, and now it's going in three. And this is why I've been very careful about what type of movements or what type of causes that I want to be a part of. And to be honest with you, the BAIO, the Black African Infrastructure Organization, is not really an organization in the classic sense of what an organization is. It's more of a philosophy and an ideology, more so than any organized structure per se. Because what Black African infrastructure is about, an organization would be too limiting to accomplish. So it's more so like a means to an end. And the way I feel about it is, as long as, let's say that there's another group that can have the principles of the BAIO, but in a more effective strategy in terms of implementing it, please, I would merge the BAIO into that particular group. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not married to any particular I'm not married to the name of the group. I'm not married to the superficial stuff like the title or the logo and all that other crazy stuff. What I'm interested in are the principles. What are the principles of any organization or any movement? Like the Occupy Wall Street movement had the 99% versus the 1%. That's very, ingenious in terms of marketing because it's so understandable. It's a concept that could be understood from a child to an elder. 99% versus 1%. 1% of the people controlling the vast majority of the world's resources, and us, the 99%, fighting against that. That's totally understood. Our talking point for the Black African infrastructure is land, infrastructure, and nationhood. Very simple, straight to the point. So, how are we going to have anything be effective in terms of a movement if every time somebody disagrees with you, you go running off like a little girl? You know, um, there's always going to be lines of this in the sand ideologically. There's always going to be those ideological lines in the sand. Um, but every line in the sand is not the same at whatever the level is that you're at. Take for instance, if you're on the architecture level, the scientist level, you're not. There's going to be certain lines in the sand that you're going to have to lay down in terms of that demographic that you're dealing with. And then if you're at the, let's say, the worker, or the, like, you have the management supervisor and then the actual worker or employee level, there's going to be certain lines in the sand when it comes to that. Basically, the line in the sand will depend on the context in which the individual is in. So, and that's a little bit too much to get into now because that's going to vary. It depends on the level that you're at. But to me, when you're among the intelligentsia, the think tank, the brain trust, or the administration level, as a principle, you must agree to disagree and have trust that because a strategy or tactic didn't go your way, that you will not get your ball and go home like an emotional little girl. We have to man the fuck up and stop being so damn sensitive. You know? And that's all I really have to say about that. This is no long video, but it's just something that I find annoying. And it's happened to us. It's like in the BAI group, I made that video called Get Your Bipolar Ass Off My Channel. That dude is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. He came into the group. He was contributing fine. A lot of great articles the dude did. But then he had this philosophy of we need to get off the grid. And that's a tactic. I mean, I'm not knocking it down. It's a tactic. But the majority of the group wasn't down with that tactic. So then what does he do? Oh, you motherfuckers ain't serious. Y'all don't blah, blah, blah. In other words, he turned into a female. He had a period, and then he had to leave. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect y'all, but I'm just saying, you're dealing with a bunch of men. Man the fuck up, man. Stop being a goddamn little bitch. I mean, I can't put it any better than that. You know? We're never gonna get anything done if dudes are so goddamn emotional. And you know what the crazy part about it is? Some of the most emotional dudes that I've come across have been the thugs. The people who claim that they not intellectuals, that they more hardcore. Some of the most emotional niggas that I have come across have been them. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm really into people that's logical and rational and reasonable, and who use that logic and reason to solve problems. I mean, at this particular stage of the game, I'm on some Dr. Spock shit. Dr. Spock. I remember in an episode of Star Trek, um, dude had died, on their mission. Like they was in a little shuttlecraft, and the shuttlecraft was damaged, and they're trying to get off the planet. So in the process of that, one of the dudes got killed outside the shuttlecraft, and everybody comes back. And Spock is trying to figure out how to get them off the planet. And so everybody's pissed off at Spock because they're like, well, a man just died. Shouldn't we have a ceremony? And Spock is like, that's illogical. If we don't get off this planet, we're all going to die. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel. It's like it's a certain time for that shit. And then there's another time where we got to start building and doing something and getting things done. And we can't get things done if every time somebody disagrees with you, you go running off into the opposite direction, and then now all of a sudden you want to start the BAIO part 2. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Anyway, that's all I got to say. I holler at you good people later. Peace.